Hey everyone! If you're a true Lakers fan, this channel is for you. Here you'll find game analysis, breaking news, and everything you need to know about your favorite team. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss any content. Your support is crucial for us to keep growing together. Let's go, Lakers!
Welcome, everybody. Good to see you guys on back-to-back days. I think about the Los Angeles Lakers. I think about, a franchise where basketball history just sort of unfolds and takes place. I mean, if you think back to the origins of the game of basketball and Dr. Naismith and a peach basket and all that's emanated from the invention of the game, and you think that in the history of the NBA, there's never been a father and a son that have shared an NBA basketball court. And that feels like something that could be magical. And we know and have to respect, of course, that LeBron has a decision about his opt-out. And I'm sure he and his family and his agent will deliberate what they're going to do there. And, of course, he has freedom to decide whatever's best for him and his family. But if it worked out that he was on our team next season, NBA history could be made. And NBA history should be made in a Lakers uniform. So that's just sort of globally how we feel about the draft moment. But more important than that is to talk about Bronny James as a basketball player, because this is his day, and he was the one selected with the 55th pick. Bronny is first and foremost a person of high character, and second, he is a young man that works incredibly hard. And those are the qualities we look for in drafting players and adding to our developmental core at the Lakers. He had a great draft workout with us where he displayed those qualities to me in a hour lunch that we shared in the building just to get to know each other. It became clear that he was a man of character. In terms of his work ethic, I think we've all seen that lived out too. He's not a person that has ever taken shortcuts or expected or been entitled about basketball opportunities. He's worked for everything that he's gotten, including being selected today at 55. So it's an honor for us to add him to our program. Coach Reddick is already excited about putting a development plan around him to increase his basketball skills and turn him into the player that we think can impact and help this franchise. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, Rob, to go further on Bronny as a basketball player, how would you describe his game? What did you like about what you saw at USC and also in his workout, offensive, defensive, the athleticism? What are the things that make him the basketball player he is?
Yeah, I think the road to ultimate victory in the NBA is with two-way players that, can be great defenders and can be shot makers on offense. And if you're able to develop guys like that and surround your superstar players with them, that's a good recipe for success. And Bronny's of that ilk. I think he's going to be a point of attack defender that can really be disruptive with the way he guards other teams' point guards. I think he can guard multiple positions. And we've really seen growth in his shooting. I think at the Combine, when we were there with the scouting staff, he was one of the leaders in sort of making his shots in some of the drills. And we really think he can turn into being an elite shot maker. So just a 3 and D player for sure.
Okay.
When did you, as you saw the draft board play out and you know that you're at 17 and 55 and you start going about your process of evaluating prospects, when did it start to become like a reality that this day could happen, that Bronny James could be part of the team?
Yeah, so, last night, Dave, of course, was with the pick we had. You don't know the player. I mean, the clock is ticking. You have no idea if a team before you is going to select a prospect that you value highly. So it really doesn't become real until the pick before is made. And so when the team picked before us picked and his name wasn't taken, that's when it really started to become real. I put a call into his agent, who was with Bronny, and Bronny was put on speakerphone, and Coach Reddick and I were able to welcome him to the Lakers family and let him know that this moment was happening mostly because of the work he's put into the game and because of the character young man that he is. That was what was expressed to him on the phone call.
Rob, you just mentioned the potential development plan with Coach Reddick. What can you share about what that could look like next year?
Yeah, Jovan, great question. Coach and I are in the process of building out his staff as we speak, but as we talked about in our opening press conference, we really want to take kind of an innovative and new look at how players are developed, and that archetype will be wrapped around Bronny and the other players that we get on two ways as we bring guys in, and the young players we already have on our roster. So I just think it's a perfect time as Coach builds out his PD or player development staff to really pour into the guys that we have here. And I think you guys will see that played out in real time once we get that staff hired.
Kobe?
You mentioned, obviously, LeBron has his decisions to make. You mentioned that NBA history could be made if they play together. How much did you ask him, Bronny, that is, how he feels about sharing the floor with his dad? And I guess what was the response?
Yeah, Kobe, we really kept the draft process to Bronny being a Laker and what we felt like we needed to do to help him become great and the core qualities in him that we saw. So we didn't talk a lot about that just because, again, want to respect his dad's decision as a free agent. So that wasn't really something that came up.
How much of this, because he had the heart issue and he wasn't able to play as much as he would have expected at USC, how much of this is going to have to be development?
Yeah, it's a good question. We had a player on our roster this year, and Gabe Vincent, that had to have a surgery and miss some time, and we saw him come back at the end of the season during the playoffs, and he was really good defensively, but the offensive rhythm wasn't quite there. And I remember as I was evaluating our team thinking that's similar to Bronny. I think he had a really strong defensive year at USC in terms of being that point of attack hound on the ball. But maybe because of the significant amount of time he took off, the offensive flow wasn't what it could be. And so I think polishing that back up, getting him back in an offensive rhythm is going to really catapult him back into, getting the trajectory of being that development player that we really look forward to having.
Mark?
Rob, you mentioned a lot about Bronny's character. What qualities jump out to you that show that he's really well equipped to handle all the expectations and the extra attention given the Lakers and LeBron?
Yeah, of course, I think growing up, as he's grown up, there's a fishbowl, there's lots of eyes looking at everything you do, and I think he's been able to handle all of that with an extreme maturity. It's evident when you spend time with him that he doesn't let things bother him. He is who he is. He believes in himself. He was raised right by LeBron and Savannah to be very respectful of coaches, in my case, a general manager. But when he walks in the room, you have his attention because he was taught that. And it's just very genuine, and you can tell right away this is a fine young man that was raised the right way.
Mike has a follow-up.
Yeah, Rob, just considering what, Bronny had to go through with his heart and even how that would have impacted his season as a basketball player, do you also see some kind of additional upside there as he gets more just playing basketball again? And how do you kind of factor that into the whole evaluation process?
Yeah, he's 19 years old, so I think to do some of the things that he can do as athletically, especially as a 19-year-old, and with the shot consistency that he's really shown in the draft process, you can see the foundations there for sure. And I think now, of course, when you're in college, you're juggling a lot of things. You're juggling your school load, your family life, basketball. Now he's going to be able to dedicate all of his resources to playing basketball. And I really think the trajectory is going to be an aggressive one, and we're really excited about the foundational qualities he has and then growing those.
Have a couple more follow-ups and we'll conclude. Dave, and then we'll end with Kurt.
Rob, obviously you guys spend so much time as a team with one another that when something
Yeah, I think, listen, for me, I remember we won the in-season tournament in Vegas, and the news broke that Bronny was going to have his first game at USC after everything he had to endure. And it was really important to just be there in the moment for that. And so made sure to, get back, even though we wanted to celebrate the IST and have some fun in Vegas. But it was really important to just be there in the moment. I think that's what Lakers family is all about. And I think the emotions of it all, that's when it really takes hold, I think, is in those moments when he got back on the court and it was able to be healthy and play. And that was special.
Last question, Kirk.
Hey, Rob, this organization is no stranger to crazy things happening dating back to Shaq and Kobe. On the assumption that LeBron opts in, I mean, this could create a circus atmosphere. There's going to be some strong narratives. Is JJ and this organization prepared for this type of thing?
The biggest moment in sports happened with the Lakers, and that's how we're built. And we're excited to see this story unfold.